when we look, you can see families were more than willing to go to the box office to support something like the Minecraft movie, while Rachel Zegler's Snow White continues to plunge.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is? Meanwhile, the experience at Minecraft goes something like this.
Minecraft in the United States in one weekend made more money than Snow White has made globally after 3 weekends. That's how bad it is right now.
I don't think they're gonna buy it. I don't think they're gonna watch it. I don't think they're gonna like it.
Warner Brothers' Minecraft movie versus Disney's Snow White, which in theory should be quite a battle, but it's not even a fair fight. And it's pretty hysterical, actually, to watch.
There's no way that Snow White is going to recover.
Every single one of these reviews is just absolutely brutal. And what you also need to know is that these are not politically driven reviews. I mean, most of them are from the camp that should be supporting Disney, that should be behind this new progressive take on Snow White, and yet they can't, because the film is apparently just that bad.
Rachel Zegler is a loudmouth dope.
Right, we're talking about ultra-far leftists, people who believe that men and women are a figment of your imagination, that your money is not your own, that your family is not your own, and that your country is not your own. That's what woke me.
Snow White, of course, famously played by the insufferable girl boss narcissist who's just clinical at this point.
Now, there is no doubt about it that Snow White 2025 is considered by far one of the worst box office failures, not just with Disney, but also in the entire film history when it comes down to live-action remakes.
DC said Disney's Snow White has a major identity crisis.
But it says, meanwhile, over in the kingdom of crumbling crowns, Disney's Snow White dropped like an enchanted apple.
What they really mean is they're describing a worldview that hates you, that hates everything America stands for.
But you don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
Saying that audiences will always line up to see her no matter what she does.
Every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
You know what's interesting about all this is that the only person waiting in line to see Snow White was Rachel Zegler.
She doesn't need a prince to save her, and not surrounded by 7 weird people. Oh, okay, just CGI fictional goblins, I guess.
Well, we all basically knew that Snow White was going to be a massive failure at the box office because of Rachel Zegler's controversial statement.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
You know, I don't need your business. You know what? Maybe Disney does. Maybe you're a tool, you're a pawn in this film. You didn't write it. You didn't direct it. You have nothing to do with the creation of Snow White.
Right.
You should shut up and do the job.
Welcome back to Tea Time with Tina. So it appears that a big mouth named Rachel Zegler completely breaks down after finding out the opening numbers of the movie Minecraft and how it completely obliterated Snow White at the box office. You won't believe how Disney just set itself on fire and handed the trophy to a bunch of pixelated cubes. That's right, folks. While the House of Mouse tries to peddle its half-baked live-action Snow White, the new Minecraft movie just bulldozed the box office, making Disney's latest fiasco look like an amateur YouTube skit.
And of course, this weekend, Minecraft came out, which has absolutely dominated the box office, done significantly better than analysts even projected. And now we're finding out that Snow White has officially crossed $160 million.
So it got destroyed at the box office. Here's the box office numbers. The Minecraft movie made $60 million on Saturday. Snow White made $2 million.
Critics claimed Minecraft would flop. They said it was too simple, too childish, or too blocky to dominate mainstream theaters. But guess what happened? The movie soared to a staggering $300 million global opening, turning every so-called expert prediction into a total joke. Meanwhile, Snow White crawled its way to about $77 million. Over multiple weeks. Yes, you heard that right. Even with Disney's bloated marketing budget and endless hype, the film bombed. badly. Like, we have to pretend this never happened levels of bad. The real kicker? The entire Disney machine was banking on nostalgia to carry this film, ignoring every red flag the fans raised. Turns out, disrespecting your own fairy tale isn't exactly a great way to get people into theaters. But that's just the start. Stick around, because the next chapters of this meltdown feature boardroom chaos, epic finger-pointing, and a lead actress who apparently forgot she's starring in one of the most iconic roles in cinematic history.
Turned over $157 million while earning another $144 million internationally. The Minecraft video game was introduced in 2011 and sold more than 300 million copies. So it actually has a fan base, user base, people that care about it. In theory, Snow White should as well. Snow White's the movie that made Disney, the studio. They should have been more cautious and careful with their own IP. It's $1 billion IP. The Disney Snow White, faithfully adapted, would have made $1 billion.
Now let's talk about Rachel Zegler, the entitled loudmouth brat, at the center of this bizarre circus. Somehow, Disney thought it was a brilliant plan to hire a newcomer who decided to run her mouth about how outdated the original Snow White is. You know, the same original Snow White that basically put Walt Disney on the map, launched an entire cinematic empire, and remains a beloved classic worldwide. And she thinks it's too old-fashioned? Great job, Disney. You handed your most cherished role to someone who treated the source material like it was leftover garbage. According to countless fan rants online, Zegler has made the film less about storytelling and more about lecturing. In the press junkets, she bashed the original fairy tale for having outdated themes.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
As if the audience was clamoring for some 21st century scolding. Imagine you're excited to see a faithful reimagining of Snow White, only to have the lead actress basically mock everything you ever loved about it. Genius move. To be fair, Zegler isn't single-handedly tanking the film, but her stupid tone-deaf remarks are a huge part of the problem. One might expect Disney to rein her in, or at least give her some savvy PR pointers. Instead, they let her roam free, blabbing her big mouth about how the old Snow White needed to be fixed. Surprise, surprise, Disney. Fans don't like having their childhood favorites corrected by a newcomer that just runs her mouth and who doesn't respect the story's roots. The audience response was nothing but crickets and empty seats.
She's literally the only person there. And do you not understand how humiliating this is?
Disney's management was eerily quiet, letting the meltdown continue like they're clueless about why fans are furious. Once upon a time, Disney was the unstoppable titan of family entertainment. Now, it's that out-of-touch relative who shows up at the party bragging about the good old days, then tries to push kale smoothies on everyone who just wants a slice of cake. Sure, a little modernization is fine, but let's be honest, when Disney starts rewriting its classics to the point where they're unrecognizable, you know they've lost the plot.
So you had the marketing material not being all that good. A lot of advertisements were really mediocre for this film. And to top it off, they made tons of changes and they strayed away from the source material, which upset a lot of fans.
According to insider leaks, this Snow White train wreck was doomed from the start. Numerous script rewrites, each more ham-fisted than the last, kept piling on contemporary messages. They were so busy patting themselves on the back for being progressive that they forgot the one thing that makes or breaks a movie, an actual story that audiences care about. Instead of preserving the fairy tale charm, they shoved in political undertones so blatant they might as well have put campaign posters in the background.
Whereas the Snow White model is the message ad infinitum, shoved directly up your ass, and, most importantly, in the most insufferable possible way, like screamed at you by an ugly woman for 2 hours.
It gets much worse. But before it does, don't forget to like and subscribe because let's face it, unlike Rachel Zegler, I know I'm nothing without your support. Now back to the tea. The few fans who attended early screenings allegedly warned that the movie felt like a bland lecture, not a magical adventure. So how did Disney respond? By doubling down on the lectures. Now they're living with the consequences, an embarrassing box office flop and a very public black eye. But hey, at least they can brag about their forward-thinking approach, right? While Disney was busy shooting itself in the foot, the Minecraft movie was raking in money like it was print on demand.
And so let's see how they fared against each other. The Minecraft movie breaks box office record with $300 million global opening, while woke Snow White slips again. Minecraft movie was a big winner, debut weekend, $300 million.
Critics scoffed, calling it just another video game adaptation. They didn't realize that Minecraft has a fan base spanning generations. Kids who play on their tablets, teenagers streaming on YouTube, and adults who've been building blocky empires since the game's early days. Turns out, delivering a fun, non-political adventure is actually a recipe for success.
Encouraging to see a movie that decided to do the opposite of Snow White, which is, according to all available reviews, including from the people that I trust the very most on this platform, it is non-political. The Minecraft movie does not try to beat you and box you about the ears with the message. It is just silly fun for kids, which is what a kids movie should be.
The theaters were packed. Some showings were so loud it sounded like a rock concert. I mean, even the cops had to take some wild kids out of the movie for wilding out and having way too much fun.
Okay, and the cops had to escort the rowdy teenagers out. The Minecraft movie is doing something magical. It's creating a live audience reaction event where people are going to just be part of something to interact with the movie itself. The kind of thing that really creates like a kinetic movement.
And guess who's leading the charge in voice acting? Jack Black. Sure, the guy has said some controversial stuff over the years, but he knows how to bring comedic energy that gets butts in seats. Audiences instantly fell in love with the movie's playful tone, praising it for staying true to the spirit of the game. Something Disney probably should have done with Snow White. But the best part? Critics panned the film at 40% on review aggregator sites. Meanwhile, regular viewers gave it an 87%.
You can see here the Minecraft movie is 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, 87% audience score. That's kind of all that matters because these people pay the bills, these people don't.
Who's out of touch now? This is exactly what happens when studio bigwigs stop focusing on moral grandstanding and just let their creators deliver entertaining stories. Critics can whine all they want. The paying public has spoken, and their wallets are louder than any self-righteous film review. It's 2025, and apparently Hollywood is just figuring out that preachy politics don't fill theater seats. Look, audiences aren't allergic to social commentary. They just want it served with a little subtlety, not hammered in with the grace of a wrecking ball. Yet, for some reason, major studios keep churning out these moral of the week flicks, then act shocked when ticket sales crash. Snow White is just the latest casualty. Instead of trusting the timeless fairy tale formula, Disney insisted on fixing it. The irony is that the original story already has elements of bravery, friendship, and all that good stuff. But hey, the suits decided it needed to be updated to please the Twitter crowd, a gamble that backfired spectacularly. Now they're stuck with a multi-million-dollar lecture that fans find insufferable.
This movie exists, by the way. You can't tell me Minecraft is the worst movie of 2025 when Snow White exists. That's right. Minecraft movies are going to make more in the weekend than Snow White's made in its entire theatrical run, and we know why.
On the flip side, Minecraft soared precisely because it didn't lecture. It respected its audience enough to offer pure, escapist fun. Want to see pixelated zombies chasing your favorite blocky hero? Great, you got it. Craving an uplifting adventure for the entire family? Done. No wonder it's making the big bucks. What's the moral of the story? Cramming woke ideas down viewers' throats doesn't exactly pay off.
Teens in suits shouting lines, cheering like it was a concert. Check out the energy, unreal. Disney Snow White is flopping hard. Why did Minecraft win? Because they stayed true to their actual audience. If Disney had made a faithful adaptation to the original Snow White, it would have made $1 billion.
Now, let's circle back to the headliner of this hot mess, Rachel Zegler, who's rapidly becoming the poster child for how not to sell a movie. Is that fair? Maybe not entirely. After all, she's not the one writing the scripts or signing executive decisions, but boy, does she make a convenient scapegoat. And her loudmouth was the cherry on top for Disney to get her to take all the blame.
The reason why is partially because of Rachel Zegler, but also because of the entire garbage movie itself. We keep blaming Rachel Zegler, and she's an easy scapegoat. I think they're scapegoating her on purpose, but the entire movie was trash. All of Rachel Zegler didn't write Snow White. Right? Rachel Zegler didn't cast Snow White. The studio did. It's a Disney problem. Disney did these things.
Insiders whisper about heated boardroom meetings at Disney HQ, where execs are pointing fingers at one another. Some are furious that Zegler's pre-release interviews pretty much sabotaged fan goodwill. Others say management should have locked down her media appearances after the first few PR disasters. Either way, it's a blame game of epic proportions, and Zegler is doubling down on the modernization angle. She's preaching to an audience that simply isn't buying it. And let's not forget the casting controversy. A Colombian-American actress playing a character famously described as having skin white as snow. Disney insisted the choice was about inclusivity. Traditionalists saw it as a slap in the face to the original lore. Whether you agree or not, the studio created an endless debate that overshadowed anything else the movie might have done right. For a company that prides itself on tight brand control, this was a rookie-level publicity meltdown. It would be easy to laugh off Snow White as a one-time failure, but fans see a pattern. Disney is losing its edge. The box office numbers don't lie. It's been a string of underperforming or outright disastrous live-action remakes, some overshadowed by controversies, others simply too bland to matter. The difference this time is that they touched a sacred classic, slapped on a forced ideological veneer, and let an unseasoned star run the press circuit. To make matters worse, an unnamed Hollywood insider claims there's major infighting going on behind closed doors. Certain executives are fuming at the marketing department for not pivoting when early reactions to the casting surfaced. Others are pointing the finger at the scriptwriters, accusing them of ignoring test audiences. And in the middle of it all is Disney's once golden brand, now tarnished by questionable decisions that make them look, well, stupid. It's almost comical. A giant conglomerate undone by its own hubris. Snow White was supposed to be a safe bet, but they pushed too hard on the moralizing, and it blew up in their faces. So here we are, folks. A pixel art game that started as a humble indie project has just demolished Disney's big-budget fairy tale remake. You can't make this stuff up. The message from viewers is loud and clear. They want to have fun at the movies, not attend a sermon. Minecraft delivered on that front, with critics' negative reviews only fueling the public's curiosity. And Disney? They're licking their wounds, trying to figure out how they messed up something as straightforward as Snow White. In the aftermath, the question on everyone's mind is, where does Disney go from here? Are they going to keep rewriting classic stories into shallow public service announcements? Or will they finally learn the lesson that audiences keep shouting from the rooftops? Respect the source material and stop talking down to the people who buy the tickets. As for Rachel Zegler, who knows what her next move is? She might bounce back with a better role in a film that doesn't treat its heritage like a dusty relic. Or she might continue playing the villain in this drama, insisting she's the misunderstood hero. But after this fiasco, fans have made it clear they're not interested in condescending lectures, no matter how modern they claim to be. Drop your opinions in the comments. We love to hear your take on this crazy topic. And subscribe now if you want to stay ahead of the Hollywood meltdown. We'll keep digging up the bombshell evidence that the mainstream media tiptoes around. Because if this Snow White versus Minecraft beatdown has proven anything, it's that woke is officially broke at the box office. And we're the ones who pulled the plug. Until next time, stay tuned, stay safe, and stay informed. Only on Tea Time with Tina.